We've all had one of those conversations where you're talking to someone about a popular movie, a movie that everyone's seen, and someone says, wait, I haven't seen that movie. And you can't help but say, what? You haven't seen that movie? All right, so as cool as we all are, there are awesome movies we still haven't seen. So we're going to rank for you guys the top 3 most popular films we have still not seen. For number 3 for me, this one might make Jonesy a little mad 'cause I think he's a big fan. Number 3 for me is Jaws.
Yeah, I knew that was coming.
It's coming. It's been on television. It's been on the television in my life, okay? I have not paid a lick of attention to it. I probably have flipped by it. I know its lore. I know its popularity, but damn it, I just have never sat down and watched Jaws. I have no excuse for it, and I think I actually want to. Like, really? I'll be honest, my whole list doesn't contain all movies I want to see. I think I want to see it. I just haven't.
See, my list is all movies that I haven't seen, and I still don't really care to see them.
Yeah, mine too.
Jaws would have made my list.
Okay.
Except my list is, but it would have been a little ways down my list.
You haven't seen Jaws?
No.
Okay.
I've not seen Jaws.
I'm sorry. That's 2. That's 2.
Yeah.
Sorry. Where are you starting us?
Number 3, I go with E.T. the Extraterrestrial.
Oh my!
You got kids, man. You got kids.
That's a shocker.
Though I think it came out in '82.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any children at the time. Didn't really care to watch it. I'm not sure my children have seen it. Now the fact is, you see, I know that's like a gut punch to you.
That's
I know that's classic. Oh, wait a second, I've got better ones coming.
Okay, I like good start. Good start.
E.T.'s number 3.
That's a tough one. My number 3 is another classic by most people's standards, and it's Grease. So made in 1978. I just didn't see it early on in life, and I have no reason to see it now. Musical, I'm not a fan of. So
I thought weren't most of us forced to see that in school?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like in music class.
Thankfully, in the small town of Novinger, with my class of 21 people, I did not have to watch.
It was probably considered risky for Novinger.
A little risque. Grease would be worth your time. Honest to gosh, I think I can watch Grease multiple times. Good flick.
My number 2 is another one of those movies where everybody says you have to see it, which is another reason why I don't have to see it, and that's A Quiet Place. So that's a recent movie that gained a lot of popularity in 2018 when it came out, and even last year there are a lot of people saying you got to see it. Now the sequel is going to make $1 billion. I just don't have to watch it.
Let me tell you about A Quiet Place. I think you missed out on the experience.
Yeah, so it was the fad at the time, and everybody's watching
seeing it now. No, first of all, the whole premise of the movie is everyone in the movie has to be perfectly quiet all the time.
Right. I understand that.
So those of us that watched it in the theater were revealed into the most awkward movie experience of our life, okay? Because it's dead quiet. So here you are with popcorn. Yeah. It's like, and people are looking at you like, I have to eat the popcorn. There's no one talking. There's no sound. The whole movie.
Wait, so there's no sound in the movie.
It's so quiet.
Yeah. Why are you watching? What's the attraction?
Exactly.
It was very good. I really enjoyed it.
I'll trust you on that one.
All right, my number 2. I'm just going to throw it out there, and I know now there's going to be 9 of them. I have never seen one Fast and the Furious.
We've talked about this before.
I am not fast.
How you've avoided it for 20 years is well beyond me.
So would it
these
shock
movies
you?
have been made for 20 years.
Would it shock you if I would also say I haven't seen any of the Fast and Furious?
Not as much as him, because he grew up in the same time period.
Okay.
I think. I mean,
but if you missed number 1.
Do numbers 2 through 9 just fall in order? Can I watch number 5 tonight if I want to?
I think you could. Yeah.
Okay.
It's not a logical movie. None of them are in depth, and you have to think about it. Movies.
It's not like the Mission Impossible that if you forget the first one, then you're not going to understand all the rest of them.
Yeah. Fast and Furious is not like that.
Okay.
Well, on my list, number 2 would be any Harry Potter movie.
Ooh. Now this was generational for you, for the kids.
That's right.
Yeah.
And so they read the books, some of them, but it was just never. There was never any point. I mean, look, I think I'm going to assume for the 2 dads here, the younger dads who have smaller children, that you've probably watched more Disney movies than you can care to watch.
Right. Yes.
8 Harry Potter movies.
Well, now they've added on to it though. The Fantastic Beasts. It's technically doesn't include Harry Potter, but it's a spin-off. Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Holy mother, that's a lot. I didn't know there was that many.
My number 1, Star Wars.
None of them?
None of them.
Woo!
0.0.
All right, so you hit E.T.,
Yeah.
which you didn't see, and Star Wars in that same time period, the original trilogy.
Didn't see any of
nothing.
them. Nope,
and
zero.
Now I understand like the middle three are just horrible and should be excluded from all canons, but the original Star Wars and the last three, there's no interest whatsoever.
None.
Maybe the trend with David is, do you not like space movies?
No.
Okay.
that's probably-
I mean, that would probably be a good
Man.
way to describe it. I just don't care about movies about going into outer space. Sorry.
I love those movies.
I love them too.
Yeah,
You do?
sorry.
Star Wars is my favorite, besides Rocky, my favorite movie series of all time.
Oh, no
is
kidding.
Star Wars.
Rocky, I could watch all the Rockies.
I'm a
Those are
space
great.
nerd. I would go to the planetarium and watch all of their documentaries in Chicago. And
no,
my wife
no.
hates me for it, but I'm like, we learned so much about Pluto today.
Not Pluto the dog?
No, that's the X planet.
Okay.
What's your number one?
My number one is Avengers Endgame. I know it's the highest grossing movie of all time. They don't got my money. I didn't watch any of those. I did watch the first couple, but for me, I'm more into the superhero is living alone in a world with humans and helps save all of the humans.
You don't like the tag team?
I don't like when 3 people get in. I don't like when 10 people, and I sure as hell don't like 30, 40 characters
there's a lot
all in there.
game.
I'm out on that. I get lost. I'm in it for the connection to reality. And if there isn't, I'm not a big comic book guy, so if there isn't, I'm out.
So a lot of these have been movie series too, and I'm invested in movie series, so I want to see the end. So with Fast and Furious, with Star Wars, and with Harry Potter even, all those are series that I had to see to the end. So, all right, my number one is Gone with the Wind. It is the most successful, highest grossing film of all time if you count inflation. $3.7 billion, which does top Endgame. It was made in 1939, and again, one of those movies that I missed early on in life. I have no interest in seeing it again, even though a lot of people love that film and say it's the best film of all time. Obviously, it was successful at its time, and still carries a lot of weight now. But for me, at the age of 35, if I haven't watched it by now, probably won't watch it the rest of my life.
I don't give a damn, quite frankly.
See what you
That
did
was
there.
nice.